Hi everyone, I just wanted to do a quick video, and I've colored this adorable girl from W+9, and I wiped off the stamp in this area and stamped her arms separately because I wanted her to be holding something. I think she's going to be holding like this with the sentiment in it. This is a Lawn Fawn frame. She has these cute little cats, but I just wanted to do something a little different. And I use a double layer of stamping on her dress to give it that really cool pattern. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Just a quick unedited video, unedited. And I've got my surroundings here with my distress inks, and I had a piece of paper right here. Here it is. So I'm going to give it a little karate chop. And what we're going to do is we're going to layer two stencils together. So usually you want a big print and then like a smaller mini print. On her dress, I used this really cool doily lace, and then the dots on top. There's a lot of kind of solidy areas, so I'm not going to use it on the background because some of the dots don't really fit in here. You need a more open area like this. So sometimes looking for my tape. Oh well. I'll get to show you since I don't have my tape handy. It's probably under something. Here it is. Just kind of pushed everything away. So this is some painter's tape, and I'm just going to hold that stencil down with that. If you have a really rough hand, you might want to tape the whole thing down, but it's not necessary. And I have three. I just kind of want this monochromatic. So I'm going to take the lightest color first, which will either be spun sugar or worn lipstick, and then I'm going to use the picked raspberry on top. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think I'll go with spun sugar. And I already have some pink on here. Sometimes these get so dry you're not transferring any colors, but I can see that has it. So I'm going to go ahead and use this anyway, even though it's probably picked raspberry. And I'm going to pick up that's okay. I'm going to pick up my color now on this dauber. And I always start in the corner off my craft mat, and I always talk about hover, hover, hover. So we're kind of hovering it in the air. Whoops. I guess I should probably tape it down. It'll be faster. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and hover in all these corners. So we're staying in the bottom corner, and then we're slowly bringing the ink up towards the center. And since there's probably more of the darker color on this pad right now, I want to start in the corners to get some of that off. And then I'll work on bringing the ink thing up. Sorry for my arm. I have my workout top on. Okay, so let's work on the edges and just kind of hover here, and then slowly bring the ink blending tool to the center and kind of hover to the side like a hovercraft would. And now we're going to work on this area. We just want a very subtle gradient color in the center. See if I can work with my left hand. sometimes if you don't have a lot of ink on your pad, or if you're not a big re-inker and your pads are sort of dry, you can kind of skirt around with this, but if your pads are wet and juicy, you can't do this as effectively. Okay, now this wouldn't work because it's too thick. I thought about that for a second. Okay, just a little bit more in the corners there. I want it obvious that the center is lighter. It kind of draws your eyes in more, in towards the center where your image will be. And we're almost done here. And again, my pad is pretty dry, so I can do this. Okay. So we are done with that. That looks cool, huh? So the question is, do we want the tiny dots on top, or do we want another pattern? Or we could do the grid, something geometric-y, kind of a geometrical look on top. I just feel like the dots, this is kind of cool. That's kind of busy. And this is really neat. And that's going to be really busy. And since my image already has stuff on it, let's go with this. Simon Says Stamp has some really cool stencils. And I've always said I think stencils are like the new background stamp. You know, they're less expensive. They're easy to transport. You can do a lot of different things with them. And they lay flat. So I'm a big fan. Now, I guess it would be good to line my paper up a little bit, since should have thought of that first. Wait. There goes my head. Okay. That's good enough. I mean, it's just a background, like I shouldn't have to do this. Okay. So again, we want this kind of monochromatic. So put the sponge sugar away. And this has a darker whatever. So we're going to use the, I love this picked raspberry. And I'm just going to, I want to use this. Okay, so what I might do is just start in one area and bring it this way, only one direction. Let's try that. So we're going to hover here and then slowly wash it. Sorry if my head's in there. Okay, so I should put this over here. I love distress inks, they're so forgiving. So I'm just going to work on these areas and then get most of the ink off my pad and then draw it towards the center. And my ink pad is kind of dry. I don't know why people always seem to text me when I'm doing a quick video. I don't really get that many text messages. Okay. Now let's just take a little peek and see how that looks. Looks kind of cool, huh? Okay, so we're going to go one extra step here. Let's just, this is an experiment. So let's go with some translucent embossing paste. It's great because this stuff dries pretty quickly. So you only need a little bit. And these craft knives I love because it really spreads it around quick and easy. Just a little bit more. This is transparent embossing paste, so hopefully it'll keep, and since the ink is water-based, it's smooshing around a little bit, but that's okay. We're going with it. Okay, that's it. So let's have the unveiling. That's just a tiny bit, so I'm going to use a wet wipe to get all that off. We want to clean that up right away. Just like that. I don't like to put this in warm soapy water because I prefer not for this to go down the drain. I feel like it's not good for the environment, and who knows what it'll do to the inside of my sink. So I wipe up as much as I can with the wipey, and then I lay it flat on the wipey and wipe again, and that's all I need to do. So here, let's lift this up, take a look. I think I like it. So that is double layer stenciling. You can do it with different colors, different stencils. Really good time. Alrighty, have a great day. Thanks so much.